Hey, and welcome back to a series of IELTS speaking videos. Today we're going to talk about the task 2, and I'm here to recreate for you how the whole process goes, from the very beginning until the very end. As always, you will be able to download free materials from me to study this topic a little bit further. And now let's proceed to our speaking exam. I'm going to ask the cue card questions, and then I'm also going to answer them because I am alone here. And you will see all the process as well as my speech on the screen and in the theory PDF that you can download from the description box down below. Now let's get right into that. The first question is, describe a decision you have taken in your life. You should say what the decision was, what other choices were available to you, and explain if you think the decision was a good one. Okay, so one rather important decision I've made recently is to move to St. Petersburg to study, which is actually the reason I'm talking to you right now. My parents were actually hoping I'd start working in their family business once I'm mature enough to. However, it didn't seem to me that I was quite ready to join the family business right away, so I decided to go to the university first. I really want to study finance and management because I have always been fascinated with how companies manage to go global and produce products that are commonplace worldwide. To be honest, I had started studying at a local economic university in Crimea and finished my freshman year there, so it gave me the ability to get the whole idea of how my education would look like if I stayed there. Frankly, I didn't find the university challenging enough and thought that a bigger city would open way more doors of opportunities in front of me. And this is why I decided to move to St. Petersburg, which is not only the most beautiful city in Russia, but also a powerful student hub. This was such a crucial decision for me because if I hadn't done this 5 years ago, my life would have been completely different now. The next question is, describe something you do to forget about work or study. You should say what the activity is, how often you do it, how it helps you to forget about your study or work, and say whether you would recommend other people to try the same thing. I'd like to talk about horse riding, which has been my hobby since I was around 10 years old. Unfortunately, I don't own any horses myself, but I still love going to a hippodrome to ride. Since I'm quite busy with my studies and business projects, I don't really have much time to look after horses at this table. Actually, riding a horse is so distracting and calming that I get rid of any negative thoughts and energy I may have. There is a large open field right next to this table, and I get such a wonderful feeling of freedom when I'm riding around there. University and business seem a million miles away. Do I think other people would enjoy horse riding? Yes, absolutely. I think everyone should give it a try. Actually, horses are such wonderful animals. They're so intelligent and beautiful. If you ever have a chance to ride a horse, definitely fit it in your schedule. And don't be scared, the risks are minimized by professional equipment and trainers. And finally, the third question is to describe a language you want to learn. You should say what the language is, where it is spoken, why you are interested in learning this language, and say if you think you will actually ever have a chance to learn it. Let me tell you about a language that I have always wanted to learn, which is French. It's spoken in many different countries, first and foremost in France and its numerous colonies. Since my first language is Russian, I know that learning other languages will be quite challenging, firstly because of the different alphabet and then because of pronunciation. Nevertheless, I find it gets progressively easier to learn other languages as long as I'm getting better in English. And this is quite natural because English has the same roots as many Roman languages which come from Latin. Frankly, I have been learning French for some 10 years, but quite unsystematically. Such lack of structured approach is really detrimental for learning a language, because the brain is not able to get used to new grammar and lexical structures. Needless to say that repetition is the key to success. As to why I'm interested in becoming proficient in French, it is actually quite an important requirement for my future career. I won't be able to graduate without having at least B2 level in French. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today and going through that task 2 in IELTS speaking. Now remember, you are expected to talk in a form of monologue for at least 1 minute. Usually it's from 1 to 2 minutes. And your primary goal here is to fit all the information you are asked about in those 2 minutes. If the examiner stops you before that, then they have already understood enough from your answer, and it is not a bad sign. However, if you have been rambling for too long, longer than 2 minutes, the examiner might stop you, and that may be not that good. Because you are expected to be concise and short and express yourself in that given time limit. So please stick to it. This video is a continuation of the IELTS Speaking Part 1 that you can find there in the info card, and it will be continued by another video about IELTS Speaking Part 3. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I will be very happy if you decide to leave a like for me or even subscribe. And as always, I will be delighted to see you again here. Ciao!